Good evening, guys. How are we all doing? So Dan from Trading with Dan here. This is our Bitcoin evening wrap. If you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button, and we will go straight over to those charts. So Bitcoin on the 4 hour. So as you can see, we basically came back and tested the underside of that breakdown of the descending triangle, and the line we drew in this morning, the line we extended this morning, because this is basically a resistance area. So yeah, you can see pretty much resisted at that level quite clearly, a wick above, but then back down below. So we have now got to see if we consolidate under here, break back above, and actually start to get more movement to the upside, or whether this is going to be a lower high relative to this high. And yeah, we're gonna attempt to put in a lower low around 14k, or at least just trade out this range and form a higher time frame tightening formation, obviously with the pennant. You can kind of see if I'm not going to draw it on, but kind of like this. That's kind of what I'm watching for now, is either are we going to consolidate here in these mid 1500s and then break back up to 16k, or are we going to get rejected here and come down? I mean, you guys kind of know my bias. My bias is that we are going to trade in this range, but that doesn't mean obviously we can't come and trade up in here or trade down here. So I do think, again, I will just revert back to my default of we'll see how the stock and market and currency markets open up later this evening, and yeah, how the market's going to digest the basically the just the current political climate. Basically, it's obviously had a very nice move up in stocks. So is some of that going to be given back, or are we just on a path now to just onwards and upwards in the stock markets? There are a lot of very bullish things in the stock markets anyway, so for the stock markets, and a lot of bearish things for the dollar at the moment. So we could just be onwards and upwards as of now. But what that will mean for Bitcoin is that I think we'll just then be consolidating in this higher zone, which will be getting tantalizingly close to 20k. Although I do think it won't be till into next year we'll touch 20k. I think we will just kind of flirt with this zone, with people thinking we're going to break up to 20k at any minute, and get people FOMOing in around this 17.5k and then pretty much slam them down to 15, 16, then 14, or 16, 15, then 14k, and just have an absolute wild trading range with much liquidations in both for longs and shorts. That is what I think will happen. A bit of a massive shakeout of everybody. I think it will be nuts. It will be wild. That is what I'm expecting. Obviously the downside, funnily enough, the downside won't be as wild. If stock markets do really bad, start to crash from here, the dollar does start to go up, I think Bitcoin will make its way down. But don't forget, it's got support levels on the way down, so I don't think it will be as dramatic, the move. We will just make our way down over time, but obviously the move to the upside is where it will be wild, because there's no real price action history, there's no real levels. There will be much as FOMO-us, many FOMO people getting into the market, many buyers. Like I said, I've already said, some of the people that are still in touch with markets, risk takers, but are not like, do you know what I mean, your average pop people are starting to have a sniff around at Bitcoin, have a sniff around around our asset. Oh dear. But yeah, so that is kind of starting to happen. But clearly, once we get to about this 17k, once we become within like a what is relatively a whisker of the all-time high, that will be when people will start FOMOing in, and that I actually believe that will be then when those guys start to get basically the price smashed down on them. But yeah, like I said, 15k, 14k, it would all be in the context of this range that I'm looking for, and that I just think I'll keep banging on about this scenario until I'm proven wrong, but that's what I think is going to happen. BTC.D, as you can see, we did draw this line. We've got a breakdown in here, an ascending triangle forming here, as you can see. So is this going to have a little bit of a move up? As I've said to you guys, we are not in a confirmed downtrend yet in BTC dominance, but once we break below these two levels, this initially to get us down to here, and then here to actually make us start to look quite bearish, and then clearly under here it's like it's fully bearish, all bets are off and altcoins are going to the moon. But we're not at that stage yet. We have got to be cautious. We're not at that stage yet. So yeah, all eyes on these levels and this chart, because this is going to signal some big decisions to be made, big decisions from people that are sat in a lot of BTC profit at the moment. I remember seeing somewhere like something like ridiculous, like the high 90s, 97% plus of all wallets that hold BTC are now in profit. So we know that some of them may be looking to take some profit and put it into some alts, especially since alts have been so drained. So yeah, there will actually be plenty of profits there to pump into these altcoins if that is what the market so chooses to do. So yeah, not a lot else for me to talk about. Major markets are open. Well, I think we're going to have quite some wild markets. Don't rule out an Al Gore type scenario where he basically thought he basically was president-elect for like 36 days, I believe it was, before the Supreme Court overturned him and then he no longer was. So yeah, don't rule out that scenario, and don't rule out what that might do for the market. The market's I don't think it will really like that uncertainty, but as I've told you guys, the Senate remaining Republican is to be honest, I think, of what a lot of the market wants, because it sort of gets the best of both worlds. It gets the Democrat printing and stimulus that both sides kind of want, and it won't get just crazy tax hikes that just the Democrats want, because the House will block that. So the Senate will block that, sorry. So yeah, I think we have got literally absolute bull scenario for markets at the moment. And yeah, like I said, it won't matter whether Trump gets in or Biden's in or whatever. It won't matter realistically, uncertainty wise. I think they're both basically amount to the same thing for the markets, on the basis that Biden can't do any of his taxing, but they'll both do the stimulus. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. So stochastics 4 hours, you can see pointing back up again. 10 hour and 12 hour looking like they want to try and curl back up. Daily holding up there, and then 2 day 3. Oh, to be honest, these guys are looking like they're holding up there, so we are obviously looking good. I mean, we've clearly had a big move off our lows. If we go to a 4 hour, we were down at well, yeah, we've had $1,000 move. This is what I mean about big numbers. This move has not really been anything. It's not seemed anything spectacular or anything to write home about. It was literally just we didn't quite reach this level. The target was the underside of the breakdown, and that's basically where we got, with a bit of an overshoot, a wick above and back below. But it's $1,000 plus. It is 14,365. Well, basically to 15,681. So that is basically a $1,300 move, isn't it? $1,300 move. Absolute craziness. Absolute craziness, guys. Nearly a $1,500 move. What a wild market we're living in. But this is what I've said. I mean, we're up in the zone. Big ranges, big numbers, big moves. This is basically what we have got in store for us now, providing markets stay where they are, which I think we will. I think we're going to get some big movement within these ranges. So yeah, that is it, guys. So all eyes on the dollar, the stock market, and also for crypto specifically, that Bitcoin dominance. All eyes on those three this week. All eyes on, yeah, are we going to get stimulus passed, and just all that jazz, all that funky stuff, all that excitement that we've got to look forward to. And like, for me, what I actually kind of believe for the how these markets are concerned is we kind of want all this excitement and uncertainty and everything to be over and just get down to business as usual. Just get down to stock markets just plodding on upwards and Bitcoin plodding on upwards and trading nice and orderly in its ranges. Just get back to those markets. I'm not saying that these markets aren't still good now, but I mean, we just get back to those. Everything's settled down, dust settles, and everything goes normal. Everything on social media stops going crazy, and we can just get down to business. So that is it, guys. Again, remember, this is not a financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research, and I'll speak to you guys in the morning.